There we go. Hoping this gives me the energy I need to get through this. Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Dylan Knows, episode 603, Lo-Fi Easter. It is 11:10 p.m. on April 19th, 2025. It is Easter Saturday. Easter Sunday is literally 50 minutes away. And honestly, it doesn't feel like it. This 3-day weekend has just been blah. It's been unexciting because of all the shit that's going on at work for me and for what's going on in the real world. I honestly don't feel like doing a goddamn thing. It was kind of a chore to go out and get Easter stuff this weekend, but I did. We get it done. My wife is, while I'm down here, she's putting the Easter baskets together. We'll hide them later. Or the Easter bunny will, we'll hide them later. And just not feeling Easter this year. I'm not really feeling a lot this year because it's 2025 and it sucks ass so far. And Easter never was really a really big thing for me too. And last year it was so goddamn early, March 31st, and this year is so goddamn late. It's 4:20 for God's sakes. Should be smoking up instead of worrying about Easter stuff. But yeah, Easter's just been kind of blah this year. I'm halfway. I'm almost done my second day of my 3-day weekend, so I only have one more day left. I'm going to spend all that down at my in-laws' house, which is going to be boring as hell because it always is. It's good food and stuff like that, but no, nobody really talks to me, and I really don't feel like engaging in conversation because it really doesn't affect me that much. I try to, but they don't really hang out with me too much. And my mom's going to be there, and that's going to be a whole nother issue as well. And then we go back to work on Monday and get sucked into garbage stuff as well. Well, good news, my daughter has chosen her college finally with all the financial issues like that. I'm not going to mention it on here because it's not my place to mention it, but she has chosen it and it's good. And I'm very happy. It's the one she's really been keen on for almost 2 years now. So the fact that she was accepted and they're giving her some money and it's in state. So that's all I'm going to say about that. So I should probably make the announcement at Easter for most of the family tomorrow, and then talk to other people over the next couple of days. So very proud of her, very happy she's going to be doing that. But yeah, just work is sucking ass right now too, and the world sucks ass right now too. So that's why it's a lo-fi Easter. It does not feel like Easter. It does not feel like that this was a nice Easter weekend. It was nice weather, don't get me wrong, but I was running around getting Easter stuff. And hey, I got to go out to Arby's a few times, which was good. And I tried something new that kind of fell flat on its face. Today I tried to make chicken cordon bleu myself. It didn't quite work out properly. Just depressed, I guess, about everything that's going on. I think I got the next 3-day weekend is Memorial Day, which is end of May. I have a 3-day weekend coming up in 2 weeks where I'm going to take May 2nd off to go see Thunderbolts, which I can't wait to see. And so I'm taking that day off, and then it's June. My daughter graduates, and then we go see Chicago and her graduation party, and all that'll be fun. And then it'll be my birthday and Father's Day, and then it'll be what I'm really looking forward to. I think is going to be when I have my week off, when my wife and son are at summer camp, separate ones this time. My daughter's working at summer camp the week of 4th of July, so I'll be taking that whole week off. And I just plan on just watching movies and doing nothing and resting. So I'm looking forward to that. That's what I'm really looking forward to. That's still about 2 months away. So all the way to go on that. But there's good stuff's going to happen between all that there. And then we get July. got a bunch of 3-day weekends in July because there's a bunch of movies I want to see. And I'm taking those Fridays off, so that'll be helpful too. So I got some time coming up here, and then August is just going to be a drag till we get to my son's birthday, and then it'll start clearing up once school starts, because then football starts back up, and then fall starts making its presence felt, and then we get into the best time of the year. So we gotta get through the worst time of the year, this rancid summer that we have here, and living in the times that we are. But there's good stuff that keeps popping up, the protests that keep building and building. Today there was some more like that. More and more shit is happening, which is finally striking back against the terrorist, rapist, racist piece of crap and his morons, and the morons in this country who voted for him. But we're not going to talk about any of that anymore. So sorry, I'm low key. It's just I'm depressed right now because of work and because of what's going on in the world, and just not looking forward to tomorrow, which I had another day off where I could do nothing. But I'm going to have to go pick up my mom, and that's going to be a whole other hassle. And then take her down to a party where it'll be good food, but I'm really going to be like invisible there, and it's going to be just sitting there for hours, bored out of my fucking mind. And then I got to take my mom back, and then it's back to work. So 3-day weekend was not really that exciting. So I don't know. I'm just not in the best mind space, I guess, right now. But we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to move on. We've got a lot of stuff to cover today. First up, I teased this when I redid my episode last week. Sam Neill has been cast in Godzilla Kong 3, which is presently filming right now. I just finished his memoir. If you want to read a really interesting, fun, really cool memoir, find Sam Neill's. It's really hard to find, but it just came out a couple of years ago, so it should still be available. I have it in hardcover. Finally finished it up. It was a great read, fantastic read, and it's awesome. For the 50th anniversary of Saturday Night Live is coming up in October. The UK is finally getting their own version of Saturday Night Live coming out in 2026. So I guess they're going to find, not just British comics, but I guess comics from the entire United Kingdom to come and do their own version of SNL, which would be really cool. There is an SNL Korea, I think, already. And I don't know if there's any other countries that they're doing an SNL type of show anyway, but UK will be doing one, and it'll be debuting in 2026. As I said this week, I didn't say it actually, but this week has also been Star Wars Celebration. Lots of Star Wars information. So we've got a bunch of that coming up, including Rory McCann is taking over the role of Balin Skell in Ahsoka Season 2. And Hayden Christensen will be returning for Ahsoka Season 2. Again, don't know if they're going to do flashbacks or he's going to be playing Darth Vader. We'll see what happens. We'll have more Star Wars Celebration stuff through the show here. Oh, Grant Morrison, who is one of my favorite comic book writers, hasn't really written comic books for a while, is coming back with a Batman project that he's teasing, but not giving us information on. He wrote Batman about 25 years ago, pretty decent storyline. And so to have him come back should be interesting. He just said a Batman project, did not say it was Batman. But a Batman project could be members of his family, could be villains. It could be Batman. Who knows? We don't even know what it is. It's a miniseries, a one-off graphic novel, regular writer on the series. I don't know. So we'll find out eventually, as everybody else does. The Highlander reboot with Henry Cavill jumps to Amazon MGM, or I guess Amazon United Artists, actually, not MGM. I guess it is the same thing. So Amazon will be the one now controlling the Highlander reboot. Directed by the guy who is going to be who directed the John Wick movies. I've already talked about that. Sydney Sweeney was seen with her ex-fiance out on a date. Don't know if that was just for hanging out and being friends, or if they're trying to rekindle romance, or it was something else. Nobody knows. That's to be continued. The Tremors writers have secured the rights to the franchise, so they are releasing a novelization of the book of the movie, and also are planning a sequel that they are writing. The other sequels that were written and made were without their input, so this will be a true sequels to it. More Star Wars Celebration stuff. We got our first look at Pedro Pascal as the Mandalorian. Granted, he does just mostly the voiceovers for it, but it looks like he will be appearing periodically without the helmet on in the movie as well. Probably not too often, because the Mandalorian doesn't do that. But he will pop in there probably eventually. We also got our first look at Sigourney Weaver and her role in Star Wars, and she is wearing the orange starfighter sort of uniforms that you see that the Rebellion was using, like Luke Skywalker and all that, their uniforms on their X-Wing fighters. So don't know if she's going to be a bad guy or if she's going to be a good guy, member of the Rebellion or whatever it is. So that'd be interesting to see how that works out. That's coming out next May. Let me see. Let me get the date here. Probably out May 23rd. That's 2025, 2026. May 22nd. Yeah, May 22nd, 2026. We'll see the Mandalorian and Grogu movie about a year and a half from now. And that's Memorial Day weekend and like Star Wars weekend. That always seems to be falls on that day. And then it's 2026. In 2027, on May 28th, 2027, Ryan Gosling has officially announced that he will be in Sean Levy's Star Wars film, and that has a name now. It's called Starfighter. It's a standalone, and it's set 5 years after the Rise of Skywalker, which was the last Star Wars movie that was made. So we're talking about the more recent movies is coming out after that. So that is official. Ryan Gosling will be entering the Star Wars world with Sean Levy directing Starfighter, and it's due out May 28th, 2027. So still got a little bit of time there. Pete Davidson to co-star with Nicholas Hoult in How to Rob a Bank for MGM Amazon, which is a new heist film. I guess it was called just the heist film. Now it's called How to Rob a Bank. We get our first look at him, including the first teaser, which is a sports horror film produced by Jordan Peele. I started watching the trailer. I just couldn't get through it. It started off normal, then just got really, really weird and whacked out. So not looking forward to that, to be honest. Kool-Aid soda coming out in 5 varieties. I think there's like a blue raspberry, a black cherry, like a grape, straw, something like that. So they're going to be actual Kool-Aid sodas. So that coming out soon. No date on them yet, but they have been announced, and we'll keep an eye out on those. Orange cream seems to be the flavor du jour this year, actually. Orange cream Captain Crunch, which came out, I guess, years ago, is finally coming back out again. Orange cream Pop-Ums from Entenmann's, which could be really good if we can find them, are supposed to be coming out here soon, too. We're also going to be getting... the orange cream cookies, not the Oreo ones. These are different ones from the people who make the orange cream stuff. And Coffee Mate Dirty Sodas, which I don't really know much about. They're making an orange cream flavored one as well. So all that will be coming out here really soon. Also, I got a pack of the orange cream jelly beans for Easter that I'm keeping for myself because we got plenty of jelly beans for everybody else. So I figured I saw them. I want to get them, so I'm keeping them for myself. So that'd be good. Michael Keaton is set to join Robert De Niro in the Netflix film, the thriller The Whisper Man. Lost in Starlight, a Korean anime film, will be arriving on Netflix on May 30th. Star Wars Celebration, Star Wars Outlaws, the open world video game, will have its first DLC called A Pirate's Treasure. If you've been playing A Pirate's Future, excuse me, if you've been playing that game, you are now going to have new stuff when the DLC gets released. Some real life science stuff. Planet K2 8-18b made the news this week as the JWST discovered what they thought was not what they thought, what they believed to be molecules and gases that only have been found on Earth that sustain life, which means they believe that life may be on this planet. It is an ocean planet, so they believe it might be, like microbes that, living things that expel these molecules and gases, which are in the atmosphere, and only in the atmosphere of planets that have living beings on it, i.e. Earth. It was the only place he's been found till this one was found. So, kind of interesting to see that, and that became sort of a big deal. It's like, aliens. Well, no, it's probably just little microbial things, particularly if it's water, if it's an ocean planet. But you never know. If it is an ocean planet, maybe there's underwater ocean creatures in it. Who knows? The Life of Chuck, the Mike Flanagan film based on the Stephen King short story, which is more Shawshank and Stand By Me than, say, It or The Stand. It's more of one of those, dramatic Stephen King books that might have a hint of supernatural stuff, but Shawshank never really did. At Pupil didn't. Different seasons in general didn't as well. Stand By Me didn't. So just kind of creepy stuff. So Life of Chuck is one of those. Got Tom Hiddleston, Karen Gillan, Mark Hamill, and the first trailer for that came out this week, and it looks just as good as they were making it out to be. It is coming out in June and has become a summer movie that I do want to see now in the movie theater. So hopefully I'll be able to time it right and work it out to see some films here. I'm trying to do better about going out and see films. I'm going to try to go see Sinners next weekend because my family is all going camping next weekend for the first time in a really long time, where all three of them are going camping while I have a weekend free to myself. I'm not all that free because it is my mother's birthday weekend, so we'll see how that works out. Maybe I'll wait till the next weekend to celebrate that, because that would be May 3rd and 4th. So we'll see. Life of Chuck is definitely looks like it's going to be probably some Oscar bait coming up here, and looks really, really good, and hopefully it'll do pretty good. Ryan Coogler's Sinners is expected to make $40 million this weekend, which is better than what Warner Brothers was projecting. Still not enough to be number one. Minecraft is still going to beat them, they believe, by about $5 million with $45 million. But again, we'll see. It's projected, but still, they've got another week in IMAX. That's why I'm going to wait till next weekend to see it. And then Thunderbolt's going to come in and take over the IMAX theaters. Ryan Coogler has also said his next project is going to be his reboot of The X-Files. I don't know if that's going to be a movie or a TV series or whatever, but it could be interesting to see what Ryan Coogler decides to do with The X-Files. But he says that will be his next film, though we'll see how that turns out. Black Panther 3 might have to get squeezed in there eventually too, because he has talked about that as well. But he has come out and said that X-Files will be his next project. So Black Panther 3 will not be out anytime soon. Red Robin, they're starting to get into low financial difficulties. They're going to be shutting down 70 restaurants. Hopefully not the one in Owings Mills, because that's a great place and I love eating there. And I've gone there twice in the last 2 months. So they started this. They must have just started because I didn't see it the last time I was there, which was a couple weeks ago. They have something called bottomless fries, which has been around forever. Where even back when they were still successful, back when they first moved in, they had bottomless fries. So they would keep filling your fries, wouldn't charge you any extra for it. Now they're going to be trying. Excuse me. Now they're going to be trying something called bottomless burgers. For $20, you get as many hamburgers, I guess, as you can eat. I don't think they're any like specialty ones. I think they're just like regular hamburgers, maybe cheeseburgers. I doubt they'll have anything special connected to them. But if you just want a hamburger and multiple, you finish one, you're like, oh, I could really use another one, then you can do the bottomless hamburger deal for $20. I honestly don't see that being too successful because what makes Red Robin really good is their specialty burgers, and they are pretty filling on their own just by themselves. And they're probably better than just a straight up regular hamburger with cheese or whatever. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully things will work out for them, then things will get better for them. Billy the Kid meets Pancho Villa and Young Guns 3 script that Emilio Estevez wrote, which is kind of weird because he's way too old now to play Billy the Kid because Billy the Kid died when he was young. But if you believe that he survived, like they kind of intimated in Young Guns 2, then I guess conceivably you could make a Young Guns 3, but have him go under a different name than Billy the Kid. And they say they have him meeting Pancho Villa in this one. So I guess you can conceivably make a Young Guns movie, though they will not be Young Guns. They're all the people who were in the Young Guns movies back in the early 90s, 30-some years ago, are now 30 years older. So they are not Young Guns anymore. So I don't know. Don't get it. Zoe Kravitz is in talks to direct How to Save a Marriage from producer Robert Pattinson, who played Batman to her Catwoman. Neil Armstrong's gold Omega Moon watch fetched $2.2 million at auction, which is a record for a watch at auction. So that's pretty cool. We get our first look at Poker Face Season 2 trailer, the full trailer. Poker Face is the Ryan, I forget his last name, the Ryan Clark, I guess, who did the, what's the Knives movie? Knives Out movies and stuff like that. Poker Face is his series he does for Peacock. That is, one and done storylines like the old school, like type of things. And we finally see potentially a Moriarty for our Poker Face main character. This Moriarty is played by John Cho. The Poker Face main character, the actress name is Natasha Lyonne, I think. Her character knows when you are lying to her. John Cho is really, really good at lying, his character is. So he may very well be her Moriarty coming up. Sandman Season 2 trailer. We finally get our first look at Sandman Season 2 from Netflix. And we also get the dates of when they're coming out. Season 2 will be divided in half, which is something they do often. The first half will be out July 3rd when I'll be home by myself, so I might watch it myself. And the second half will be out July 24th. Trailer just shows all of the Endless getting together and some other aspects of the story going on, but it will be the Season of Mist storyline. And it is the final season due to the whole Neil Gaiman situation going on, which is a shame because there is still a lot more Sandman could do, but they might condense it into this final season. So we'll see what happens. Then we also got our second full trailer of Fantastic Four First Steps, where we get a lot of firsts. We learn more about the storyline, where we learn that the rumors have been abounding about this, but it's true. Sue is pregnant. It's one of the first things you learn in the trailer. You also see Reed's first time stretching. It's very quick and brief, but you do see it. You also get the first look at our Shalabal Silver Surfer, which I commented on this and it seemed to disappear off of my Facebook feed, which is weird. Not weird because I know that Facebook is run by the fascist friend, and he probably removed it because it was not very kind. Because everyone complains that when they saw the Silver Surfer in there and it was going to be a female, they all start screaming woke and DEI stuff, and it's more just an attack on Disney again. But if you read a goddamn comic book, you would realize that this Silver Surfer is Shala Bal, who is the original Silver Surfer's girlfriend, who has become a Silver Surfer also in the comics. Read a goddamn comic, you pieces of shit. It's not woke DEI stuff. It's stuff from the actual fucking comics. Read a fucking comic, you pieces of shit, before you make any sort of comment about what you have absolutely no fucking clue about, which is not unusual for you goddamn morons, because you're so fucking stupid and hypocritical that you wouldn't know good time if it sat on your face, you piece of shit. So go to fucking hell. Die! But it's a good trailer. You also get a shot of Godzilla's feet, which is not Godzilla's feet, Galactus's feet, which is really interesting. But it seems like a good trailer. It seems like it's going to be a good film. And I like the aesthetic they got. Nicholas Galintz and Bill Skarsgård are set to star in Mosquito Bowl, which is a Netflix film directed by Peter Berg. Star Wars Celebration. Maul Shadows Fire animated series focused on Darth Maul will be coming in 2026. We got our first look at Twisted Metal Season 2 with Stephanie Beatrice and Anthony Mackie. That will be due out on July 31st. We also got our first look at 28 years later, first full trailer of the 28 years later trailer. We got a teaser earlier, but now we got the full trailer. It seems like it's going to be just as gory and scary zombie film as the original ones. Danny Boyle returns as director. Alex Garland returns as writer. So it looks like it'll be what you expect, and it's coming out on my birthday. So there you go. In real world stuff, don't know if this is anything or not, but if you've been following what's been going on in New England, back in November of 2024, a woman was reported missing and then was found dead in a river or something like that. And since then, 4 more women who've been missing have shown up dead, scattered all across the New England area, not just one area. There's Connecticut, Rhode Island, Boston. There's one, Massachusetts, Vermont. I think there's some. So it could all be coincidental, or the fact that they were all women. They were all pretty much found dead in the same sort of position as in the same sort of locations, near water or whatever, and had the same sort of injuries done to them. These people believe there might be a serial killer on the loose up in New England. So just be aware of yourself up there, friends in New England as well. There might be a serial killer on the loose up there. Don't believe me? Check it out. Go Google some like New England killings. The most recent one was like March 30th, so it's still fairly recent. Stuff like that sort of happening. The only death for this page is Patrick Adrule, a MASH actor, died at the age of 82. Anniversaries, the actual Apollo 13 actual air flight and the explosion and the real world Apollo 13 stuff occurred 55 years ago this week. Oklahoma City bombing occurred 30 years ago this week. And 250 years ago, we had the Battle of Lexington and Concord and Paul Revere's Midnight Ride and the start of the American Revolution. So that was celebrated up in New England yesterday. So that happened as well. So it's kind of interesting to see all the stuff that historically bad that's happened in April. And I did this a few years ago. I broke down all the things that had happened in April, and it was just kind of weird to see all that. So it's kind of weird seeing this all back again during the anniversary things. There's some more coming up later on in the show. And then we also have Superman Day, 87 years ago this week. Superman was debuted in Action Comics #1 on April 18th, 1938. And getting back to movies, Forgetting Sarah Marshall debuted 17 years ago this week. That's really not working any. Four Seasons trailer, I think I already talked about this, but it was on my feed recently again. Either I redid it or they released a new one, I'm not sure. Based on a true story and Mr. Throwback have both been canceled by Peacock. We got our first look at The Roses, the first trailer for that movie set to debut April 29th is a remake of the War of the Roses, the movie with Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, and Danny DeVito, directed by Danny DeVito. This one has Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman is playing the married couple who are on the rocks and start battling each other physically with weapons and doing just awful things to each other because they can't get divorced. And we have interesting co-stars. Andy Samberg co-stars in it. Allison Janney, Kate McKenna, Zoe Chow, and Ncuti Gatwa are also all in it also. So it's an interesting cast, interesting trailer. I think it's just going to be released since 4/29 is like a Wednesday or something like that. It might just be released like on Peacock or something, or Paramount Plus, something like that. Incidents Around the House has cast Jessica Chastain in the Rob Savage directed James Wan horror production. Gendy Tartakovsky, his racy R-rated animated film Fixed is finally going to be released on Netflix after lots of people complained about it and did not get released in the movie theater like they were hoping for. The last Thunderbolts trailer came out. Still looks like a great film, and absolutely everyone should check out the film. Absolutely. The Weeping, Doug Jones has been cast in the Creature feature from director, this is the coolest name ever for director, Spider Dabrowski. We also got a new 25th anniversary trailer for the Dogma re-release coming on June 5th. Kevin Smith is finally able to re-release the film after someone bought the rights away from the Weinsteins. So you're going to see a 4K DVD coming out soon. You're going to see this movie be re-released in movie theaters on June 5th, and you're also going to see it hit streaming eventually. So you'll be able to finally see what, in my opinion, is Kevin Smith's greatest film he's ever done. Shia LaBeouf is in a film based on, and I think David Mamet probably wrote it and directed it, prison drama called Henry Johnson. The Baylor basketball team had to replace their entire team after the entire team left through the portal, so that's kind of a shitty thing to do. Rudy Pankow joins Micah Monroe and Tyreek Wallace in the adaptation of the Colleen Hoover novel Reminders of Him. Sweetest Day, which is a horror film starring Catherine Corcoran, Russell Todd, and Keith Mooney, is, I don't know if it's going to be a horror film set on Sweetest Day, which is a minor holiday in, I believe, October, like October 15th, something like that. That we made a site to kick Josh Ridgway in the balls video about. But yeah, so it's an actual holiday, so I wonder if it's like a Halloween sort of movie, but on Sweetest Day instead. Speaking of, no, it's not there yet. John Mulaney, Catherine Hahn, and Sienna Miller join David O. Russell's Madden film about John Madden. Michael Sheen is set to play Coach Bill Parcells opposite our Superman David Cornswat in the movie Mr. Irrelevant, which will be made here really soon. Lee Corso is retiring from College Game Day this year. He was the elder statesman who everybody loved and was Crazy Man. He will be retiring eventually, or will be retiring this year, I should say. Jennifer Lopez will be teaming up with Robert Zemeckis for a movie called The Last Mrs. Parrish for Netflix. Aidan Quinn will co-star and direct a film adaptation of My Uncle Sam Shepard's play, Ages of the Moon, with Steve Buscemi. Street Fighter movie with Noah Centineo and Arturo Chiaru is in the works. Pacific Rim series is coming from Legendary and Amazon, so we'll be getting that with the success of the Godzilla series. They figure why not bring another one. Glenn Powell is set to co-write and star in Judd Apatow's country western comedy. I hate country western music, so bleh. A Clueless sequel TV series is set to debut at Peacock with Alicia Silverstone reprising her role as Cher. Would be interesting to take a look at how Cher is as a mother right now and having to deal with her own daughter, who is a Cher-like clone of her, probably. So it could be interesting if you get some of the cast members back. Obviously, can't get everybody back, and you wouldn't want to get everybody back because, the story just, is complete for the most part, and a lot of the actors aren't needed anymore. Some have passed away and have moved on. Scientists have discovered a bizarre double star system with an exoplanet on a sideways orbit. So you got the two stars here, and then the planet is orbiting this way instead of around this way around the stars. So that's kind of fascinating and kind of interesting to take a look at. So that's pretty cool. Jesse Eisenberg is got his next directing film. His first directorial debut got some Academy Award nominations. This one could very well do the same thing. He's directing an untitled film right now, doesn't have a title yet. It's a musical comedy about a shy woman who learns that she gets a lead role in a community theater a musical, and she goes all in to do a really good job, going so far as to go overboard in some aspects, which could help, might ruin the whole thing. It stars Julianne Moore, Paul Giamatti, Halle Berry, the one who was the Little Mermaid, not the Halle Berry X-Men, Havana Rose Liu, and Bernadette Peters have all been cast in that as well. I just put this in there, but we finished Ted Lasso, one of the best TV series of all time. A great, perfect ending. We'll have to wait and see how season 4 is going to fit in there, because it ended perfectly, really. And we know what the premise of season 4, so that could be kind of interesting. So we'll see how that turns out. But right now, it's 34 brilliant episodes. Fantastic series. Great ensemble. Great storylines. Great music. And just a fun TV series. Highly recommended. It's on Apple TV Plus, but if you don't have Apple TV Plus, don't worry. They have the entire series out on Blu-ray or DVD. You just order from Amazon, and you'll get it to your door very quickly, and you just be able to enjoy it. I recommend, if you've never seen it, just go ahead and buy the complete DVD set and just watch it. Get through the first couple of episodes, which are a little rough, but they're still pretty decent. And you start getting the juice of the story, and then you realize that almost every character is, not everyone, but almost every character from the first season is different by the third season, in sometimes a subtle way, but shows growth, shows character development, which is what you want from your TV shows. So then we were trying to find something new for us to watch. So we had been fans of Community and Parks and Rec and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, stuff like that. So the creators of Brooklyn Nine-Nine and The Good Place and Parks and Rec have created the show A Man on the Inside with Ted Danson, which is on Netflix. One season has only come out, with the second season due to debut probably later this year. This was another fantastic series, 8 episodes. If you have Netflix, you can watch this right now. And we watched it in a span of about 3 days, I think. And it is maybe even 2 days. It is a wonderful show with a great cast. Ted Danson, Stephanie Beatrice are the main draws in this, but there's a bunch of other actors. I really don't know their names, but have done just as well. And it's a comedy series about older people, which you don't really see all that much now. And it's done in a very heartfelt way, but has this sort of mystery going on in the background, which keeps it from just being just a straight up sitcom about people living in a retirement village. But it is such a good show. Man on the Inside, if you haven't checked it out, definitely worth it. It's eight episodes, half hour each. Ted Lasso's are about an hour each, so they're a little bit longer than Man on the Inside. Both are good. Both show that you can be masculine and be emotional at the same time. And just very well cast, very well written, and really interesting stories, really good character development. And Sally Struthers is the other really good actress in A Man on the Inside. And just the fact that The Man on the Inside is just focused on elderly people, which you don't really see all that much in TV and movies, and now is brilliant. So definitely recommended those two right off the bat. Ron Gordon. He is a former Baltimore Colts NFL player. He passed away this week. Anniversaries: Game of Thrones debuted 14 years ago this week. The Punisher, the Thomas Jane version, debuted 21 years ago this week. Not a bad version of the Punisher. Kick-Ass debuted 15 years ago this week. And Kill Bill 2 also debuted 21 years ago this week. Cinnamous Easter. Man, this isn't helping at all. This week, San Diego was hit with a 5.2 earthquake. Kind of rough, but okay. There's great video of the elephants at the San Diego Zoo who knew it was coming ahead of time, and they grouped together and herded out together when the earthquake happened, so that they were safe and they were all together. No man was left behind. The entire stock of the McFarlane Toys Supergirl action figure that was on its way to Walmart was stolen en route. So that's kind of an interesting story that debuted this week. That is really kind of interesting to see what happened, why they were taken, what's the situation at that. I don't know, but it's a really interesting story, and hopefully they'll come up. We'll see what happens. Toho is putting the money where their mouth is. They are investing $1.2 billion into Godzilla strategy, which means they're going to be putting $1.2 billion towards Godzilla movies, TV shows, merchandising, whatever, to continue to get the brand out, because Godzilla is hugely popular right now and is still doing very well. And that includes Part of this 1.2 billion is the budget for the Godzilla Minus Zero sequel, which is presently being written by the writer-director of Minus Zero. So that money's going to go to him as well. So they're putting aside 1.2 billion, I guess maybe not dollars, but yen, to all things Godzilla. So that's really cool. Soul on Fire is a new movie with William H. Macy, John Corbett, and Joel Courtney from Sony. Don't know much about it, but there it was. Snickers, Twix, and Milky Way chocolate milk is out now. So you can do that as well if you like that stuff. Some local news. The Regal Cinemas out in Hunt Valley, which had been out there for a really long time, and people were starting to think that, they haven't really upgraded anything for it in the cinemas, and it's being built up, or stuff is being built up around it. A lot of people were thinking that the movie theater was going to be shut down, but we learned this week that is far from the truth. Basically, what they did is they actually went in and they redid the seating for the Regal Cinemas. They had the old school movie theater seats in there now. Now they have the leather style sort of lazy boy ones that most movie cinemas have now. So getting that done, that'll help you get a lot more people in as well. We got a first look at Johnny Depp and his return to film in Day Drinker with Penelope Cruz. He looks a little ratty and off-putting. That's probably just the character, of course. And just like that, the Sex and the City spinoff has a season 3 trailer debuted this week, and so it's going to be coming out soon. Taron Egerton, Jared Smollett, Greg Kinnear, and John Leguizamo are in Smoke, a new Apple TV Plus show set to debut on June 27th. We got our first look at behind-the-scenes pictures, but not a trailer yet. Ryan Gosling, who's keeping himself very busy. Last week I talked to you about him reteaming with Margot Robbie in a Ocean's 11 prequel. And then we heard about his Star Wars film he's doing also. He has he's thinking of bringing Killer Clowns from Outer Space back in a new film series or whatever that he would produce and write. So we'll see what happens. The Vietnam mouse, which was declared extinct over 30 years ago, has been seen again and has been returned. Courtney Hengler from Cobra Kai, and who's been acting for 20 years, is retiring from acting. And Cate Blanchett is also mulling retirement from acting as well, after a few minor things as well. What the hell did I write there? Oh, an Aladdin horror film. Jesus Christ, is in the works now. Why the fuck do you have to keep making horror films about Disney movies and characters? Jesus Christ, do something different, for God's sakes. Silent Night, Deadly Night reboot has cast Rohan Campbell in the lead role, about a dude who dressed up as Santa Claus, kill people. Rohan was in the final Halloween Ends movie with Jamie Lee Curtis. Speaking of which, Seller, Jamie Lee Curtis, is producing and starring in a psychological horror film, so she's returned to horror as well. Anna Lone has been cast in Black Phone 2. I mean, the film's already done filming. She will be in it, but they've just announced that she's in it. I forget her name. I can't read her name. Lucy Hale is said to headline the Dead Letter series based on a book series for Netflix. Verity with Anne Hathaway finishes production. We got a first look at Eddington trailer set during the time of COVID, first sort of COVID-19 film. We've got official announcements of the new Harry Potter cast. John Lithgow is officially Dumbledore. Gerald, Janet McTeer is officially McGonagall. Pape Asidu is officially Snape. Nick Frost is officially Hagrid. Luke Thalin has been cast as Quirrell, and Paul Whitehouse has been cast as Filch. Harry Potter's getting a big black eye now after the creator of it, whose name I will not mention, celebrated the UK's dialing back of trans rights and stuff like that. So I'm just wondering if these actors are going to be fine with her transphobic stuff, because she is involved with this. And this Harry Potter series, just to me, just seems like it's destined to fail. I know people were screaming that they want that all the stuff that they wanted to see from their favorite books that got cut out of the movies, they want to see it in a TV series. Now they finally get one, but there is no excitement about it because of what the writer is about and says and does now. If she would have just kept to herself, there'd probably be a lot more excitement to it. But right now, it just doesn't seem all that exciting to me, or really to a lot of people, to be honest. Speaking of stupid ass moron shitbag fuckfaces, the vice president broke the college football championship trophy when Ohio State came to visit them at the White House. The moron is a complete and utter disgrace to this country, so fuck him. And fuck Ohio State, really, for the most part, for showing up there. Fuck the Philadelphia Eagles, and fuck the Kansas City Chiefs, also for showing up there as well. This is actually kind of an interesting thing. Japan, where else, because they are so good at this sort of stuff, has created an electric salt spoon. And basically what it does is, say you're eating something with the spoon and you put it in and you put it in your mouth, a mild electric shock will hit your taste buds, and it'll make it seem like the stuff you're eating is more flavorful than it actually is. You know, a lot of people like to add salt to their food, or umami flavors to their food as well. Well, now you don't need to do that extra stuff, because that's bad for your cholesterol. If you keep adding more and more of that, you add the right amount, that's great. But if it tastes boring to you, this electric spoon will shock your taste buds into making it seem like this is flavorful and it tastes great for you. It's a really fascinating thing. And it's kind of interesting that, something like that could actually work. And it's really neat. Deaths this week. Wink Martindale, game show host, most known for Tic-Tac-Toe and Gambit. I thought he did Joker's Wild also, but I could be wrong. But I just remember watching him when I was a kid. I stayed home from school. I always watched game shows. But yeah, so he passed away this week. Michael Halleg, Lego's a Lego boss who's also close friends of the Danish royal family, died in a skiing accident this week. Don Hasselbeck, former NFL player who won a Super Bowl and also was the father of Matt Hasselbeck and the other Hasselbeck quarterback, can't think of his name right now, of the more modern era, passed away at the age of 70 this week. And Jean March, upstairs, downstairs actress, Willow actress, Wicked Witch actress from Return to Oz, she passed away this week as well. Anniversaries. What the hell? Scream 4 debuted 14 years ago this week. What the hell is that? 42 years ago. Oh, Flashdance. Flashdance debuted 42 years ago this week. So again, as I was talking earlier, how April seems to be just the month where terrible things always seem to happen. Like tomorrow, actually, it's not today. It's 420. This was Adolf Hitler's birthday. It was also the anniversary of Columbine is tonight. So I'll put that on my anniversary as well since we're here right now. Let's put it over here. Anniversary Columbine shooting. That was back in 1999, so that was 26 years ago. So there was a lot of that. So we had that. The end of the Civil War, which isn't terrible, was also this week, I think, in 1865. John Wilkes Booth killed Abraham Lincoln this week in 1865 as well. The sinking of the Titanic was this week, all the way back in 1912. And this isn't bad. This is actually good. Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball 78 years ago this week. But yes, so we've had all these awful, terrible things happen in April, and some good stuff to Jackie Robinson stuff like that. But just the Oklahoma City bombing, Columbine, the assassination of Abraham Lincoln, the sinking of the Titanic, the beginning of the Lexington Concord, beginning of the American Revolution anniversary in there as well. Just insane stuff. So, and I do remember I did do a show about that years ago. I couldn't tell you which episode it was, but I did cover it in pretty much great detail, all the stuff that happened in April that was messed up. Scientists created the world's largest lab-grown chicken nugget with fake veins, which is weird. But okay, you created a chicken nugget. Good for you. This is all Star Wars stuff. Star Wars stuff. Oh, Swiss movie theaters have installed screens in the floors of the toilets so you do not miss any of the movie. Well, you would miss some from going from your seat to the toilet, but if you're sitting there and you need to go to the toilet, they would have your movie playing, or I guess maybe you could hit which one it is so you could watch it while you're going to the bathroom so you don't have to force it and you can still watch the movie and still hear it and understand what's going on. I think I talked about this last week, but I'm not sure. But Tony Gilroy said to be making a horror Star Wars project that was not announced at Celebration. I think I talked about that last week, but I just wanted to bring it up again here. It's Easter officially. It's 12:07 a.m., so it's officially Easter right now. The world's largest Cadbury egg at 3 feet tall was created in England. I like Cadbury eggs. I know a lot of people don't, but I think they're fantastic. All 5 members of the Breakfast Club came back together for the first time ever at C2E2, the Chicago sort of thing. It was a pretty well-attended event, and they showed some clips from it. Judd Hirsch had a fantastic, Judd Nelson had a great comment, is that they wanted to do, for the longest time, a Breakfast Club sequel, which would explain if that Monday morning, the 5 members of the Breakfast Club kept their vows to become friends, to stay friends once they got back to the real world. And Judd Nelson had a really interesting comment about that. He was talking about that they wanted to do, but you will never be able to see it now because only John Hughes could write that, and John Hughes passed away years ago. And but now he was just sort of like, but you can make your own decision what you think happens. He says, I have my own opinion of what I believe happened. I'm sure everybody else has their own opinion and believe what happened, but we're never going to know because John never got the chance to write the sequel. And, it was really a well done thing. And then, everyone seemed to be enjoying it. So that was pretty cool. Um, Emma Day joins the cast of the Tom Cruise film from Inueta, which is about like the world's most powerful man has to race against the clock to stop the destruction of something he created. Ghost Australia is now filming. Ghost is a TV series that started in England about a woman and her husband who move into a giant house, and the woman seems to have sort of like a psychic ability to see dead people, and the house is filled with ghosts, and she's the only one that can see them, and she interacts with them, and all kinds of comedy ensues and stuff like that. It became a huge hit in England, and then they brought it over to the United States. Became a huge hit in the United States, so now they're doing a version of it in Australia. So it's one of those shows that can go around forever. Another Simple Favor trailer. Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively return for a sequel to a movie that not really a lot of people know about, set to debut on Netflix on May 1st. The DMZ Nuclear Survival new military-themed open-world video game is in the works right now. Should be opening up really soon. Winter, Spring, Summer, or Fall trailer starring Jenna Ortega and Steve Guttenberg is a rom-com dramedy. It gave me a lot of Before Sunrise sort of feelings to it, as well as some other things, as well as kind of a dramatic rom-com sort of thing, set to debut April 25th in movie theaters. The I Don't Understand You trailer, a dark comedy with Amanda Seyfried, Nick Kroll, and Andrew Rule, is set to debut June 6th. The premise is two gay guys spend the holidays at like this Airbnb and accidentally kill the woman who runs it. So they've got to sort of hide her body from her son who's coming to visit at Christmas time. And it just keeps getting worse from there. So it's insanity on there. Before we get to the final bit, which is the final bit of the Star Wars celebration, anniversary, American Psycho debuted 25 years ago this week. The Cabin in the Woods debuted 14 years ago this week. Bridget Jones' Diary debuted 24 years ago this week. And deaths, the last known Pearl Harbor survivor died at the age of 106 this week. Kyron Lacey, an LSU NFL wide receiver, committed suicide days before the draft. The NFL draft is this weekend, upcoming weekend, so that's kind of a shame. And Bill Orr, an Alabama football legend, passed away this week as well. So for the final Star Wars celebration stuff, Star Wars Visions Volume 3 is coming October 29th, 2025. For those who don't know what that is, it's 5 to 8 anime directors do their own version of a Star Wars film or Star Wars. There's a story in Star Wars canon using any time frame, using whatever characters they want to. I think they have to be new creations. They can't use the existing ones. And they're shorts, so that's actually fairly popular. You get to see a lot of different takes on Star Wars. And because it is so successful, they announced at Star Wars Celebration the first ever long-form Star Wars anime. Instead of it being a short, it's actually going to be a series called The Ninth Jedi, set to debut in 2026. So we'll get to see what a actual Star Wars anime full-length one will look like, and not just the shorts. And finally, as expected, Fortnite, their new season, Chapter 6, Season 3, which starts May 2nd, will be a Star Wars-themed one. The theme is going to be called Galactic Battle, and is going to be one of the shortest seasons ever. It's going to be a 5-week-long season, and each week is going to have a different theme. They showed at the end of the trailer. They released a trailer for it. The Battle Pass will have Darth Jar Jar, Darth Sidious, Mace Windu, a new Mandalorian skin, and then also it appears that there'll be a Star Destroyer launching attack on the island, and the Death Star will be launching attacks on the island as well during this whole galactic battle period. There'll be some POIs set in the Star Wars worlds. I think Tatooine was one of the ones I saw in there, so that'll be interesting to see how they incorporate that into the islands. So could be interesting, but it's going to be a short one. So I'm assuming there'll probably only be a 50 part battle pass instead of 100. And there's going to be a lot of other like Star Wars stuff, but it's just going to be like only about a month long Star Wars one before they get to the next season. So they're kind of reversing it a little bit. That means they're not going to probably do a OG season now that they have the regular OG gaming thing now. What they used to do is they used to do a set of 4 actually 3, I guess technically 3-month long. No, it was probably 4 3-month long sort of seasons. And then they had that 1 month long that doesn't quite work out. It's 13 months. But they worked it out somehow so that there was a whole month long OG season. So they did an OG season 1, OG season 2. But I guess they're not going to do OG season 3 because it looks like Star Wars is going to take the place of this OG season, which means then when the new season, see 5 weeks from May 2nd, is going to be sometime in early June. And that one will last 3 months, June, July, August. We'll go through September, and you would have September, October, November, and then we'll see. And that's how it's going to sort of get back into the rhythm that they have there usually. So it just looks like they're shifting the OG season to make this little Star Wars mini season to see if that's going to be something that can work out instead of doing a 3-month long Marvel one like they did last season. They could have done a 1 month long one and done the same thing they did there. So we'll see what happens. It looks interesting. The fact that they have a Darth Jar Jar is really, really funny. And Mace Windu is finally in the game, so that's pretty cool. That is it for me. This episode 603 Lo-Fi Easter. It is officially Easter. I want to wish everybody out there a happy Easter and a happy 420. So yes, enjoy whatever you want to do. And it's going to be pretty nice here anyway. Looks like we're not going to be getting the severe thunderstorm that they said we were supposed to get. Nope. So, yep, 70 degrees right now. Going to be 70 degrees later today. Yep, so pretty decent week coming up. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I can't believe that this didn't work. Oh, well, I'm just exhausted. I'm going to have to figure out a way to do my wife's Easter basket because she's still awake right now. I'll have to sneak up. I'll have to wait till she goes upstairs, wait her out. I'll probably fall asleep on the sofa before I can make my basket for her and hide that tonight. So we'll do that, and then we'll go down. I'll go get my mom, and then we'll go take her down to Feek's house, and that'll be fine, I guess. It's always fine, but I wish I could just stay home and do nothing because I'm exhausted, and I'm really not looking forward to going back to work. But that's just me and my Easter stuff. I'm a holiday guy. I'm not feeling it this year, and it's not just that. It's 2025. It's just all kinds of shit going on, and I'm not feeling great, and just I don't know. I can't wait till the end of June when I have my week off. That's what I'm really looking forward to, but I still got a long ways to go. On the bright side, if I work hard enough, I'll be able to clear out all this bullshit at my job, and hopefully that'll be taken care of. I can get back to doing what I like to do there. So whatever. Anyway, happy Easter. Enjoy yourself. Thanks for watching the show. Sorry for the depressing end to the show, but it's just how I'm feeling right now. I hope your Easter is a lot better than mine potentially is going to be. And we'll see you soon. Enjoy. Happy Easter.